Hey everyone, Kyle here with Screen Riot. Today we are reviewing Fantastic Mr. Fox, an animation from 2009. It's currently streaming on Disney Plus, so go check it out. If you haven't seen it, come back to the show because this is Screen Riot.
Hey everybody, and welcome to episode 1 of season 6 of Screen Riot. We're so glad you joined us. If you're new, because we had a lot of great new subscribers throughout this last season, so if you're new, make sure you go to screenriot.net, check out all the cool stuff that we have there. Also, make sure you check out our Patreon page there, where you can learn how you can support the show, and you get some cool little swag and stuff like that when you join up with us. So go and check all that stuff out. For season 1, like Kyle said, we're taking a look at Fantastic Mr. Fox, which was an animation. It's rated PG-13. It's 1 hour, 27 minutes, and it was directed by Wes Anderson. So, Kyle, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about what Fantastic Mr. Fox is all about?
So it's about a fox, ironically named Mr. Fox. He has to put an end to his wild side and become a responsible father. However, he still has that instinct to hunt, so he plans just one more raid. And it's on 3 nearby farmers, Boggis, Bunce, and Bean. The farmers retaliate and forces Mr. Fox and his family to go deeper underground and save what they have left. But with the help with his furry friends, they get alive and hit a raid of a lifetime. Yeah.
And by furry friends, you mean all the regular Wes Anderson actors and all that, right?
Yeah.
He always worked with
Owen Wilson,
Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Dafoe.
Wow. I got a crooked nose. Wow.
Wait, was it Owen Wilson in this?
Yes.
Yeah, he was
Who was
the
he?
he was the
whack
coach.
ball coach. He was the
that's
pine
right.
cone fire coach. What was the name of that game?
Whack bat?
Whack bat, whack ball, whack cone,
Yeah. It's called
whack stick.
Whack that stick. Wow.
There's no whack bat on the other side of the river?
No, we mostly just run grass sprints or play acorns.
Huh. Well, it's real simple. Basically, there's 3 grabbers, 3 taggers, 5 twig runners, and the player at whack bat. The center tagger lights a pine cone, chucks it over the basket, and the whack batter tries to hit the cedar stick off the cross rock. Then the twig runners dash back and forth until the pine cone burns out and the umpire calls hot box. Finally, at the end, you count up however many score downs it adds up to and divide that by 9.
Got it.
It's a game that
Count it, divide by 9.
yeah. And it's something that you could probably play. Obviously, not with a flaming pine cone. That might be dangerous, but they explain the rules, so you could actually play the game.
Yeah, but there's a fire that has to go out or some shit in half of those rules too. There's something about a fire going
they have
out.
you got to get the pine cone back before it fizzles out or something like that.
I don't know. It was like a weird version of cricket. It was like Roald Dahl saw a cricket game and went, "This would be funnier with piglets and foxes playing it," and then the rest is history.
Foxes and piglets.
I don't know, what are they? Foxes,
well,
beavers.
there was like a beaver out there. That
Yeah,
was
there's
like the jock.
And there's like a mole.
I'm a beaver.
Possums, beavers, chipmunks, mice. Yeah, all that stuff. I don't know.
Well, does anybody want to kick us off here?
Well, Ocean's 11 was a good movie. I liked it being animated.
It's pretty close to what it was.
Kind of, yeah. You're kind of right there.
And it's got George Clooney in it, so let's
Exactly.
Okay,
I'll
say this. I'm not quite kicking it off because John already said something. I think that the animation was beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that the colors and stuff, a little bit of orange, a lot of orange.
Well, that was the palette.
Love them some orange. But
we call that the Anderson.
Exactly. Yeah, I know. But overall, the actual story, a little bit disjointed, I guess is the word I want to use. Like I felt like we were bouncing around. Like when he starts thieving again with the possum, we like are going on this like raid, and then we're gonna bounce to the kids, and then we're gonna bounce back to him, and then we're bouncing to the kids. And I'm like, okay, are we telling both stories or not? And then all of a sudden we're just staying with the thieving, and I'm like, so we're not telling both stories. Like that's the only real complaint I have, because otherwise I think it's fine. I didn't hate it. It just feels up until everybody kind of gets on the same page with we're gonna fight the humans. It's very like spotty. Like it just kind of hits all these different storylines very, very quickly and jumps around. And then about halfway through, they decide to fight the humans. Like other than that, I mean, yeah, it's an animation. It's a stop motion, you know.
Well, the
Yeah.
humans attack first, so
True.
actually,
but
the
not
fox-
really, though.
Yeah, they attacked first.
Yeah, I was
Stole all
about to
their
say
stuff.
the foxes in this movie, they're the assholes.
Yeah, he is the evil person in this film.
Yeah.
You know.
What
Oh, I do have-
disturbs me is that okay, so the three farmers, they're digging into
Mhm.
Fox's house, right?
Yeah.
And there's a recliner, there's a chair and artwork and all these little, you know, like people things but small. So these animals obviously have some type of intelligence.
Yeah.
But yet they're still going to kill them
Oh,
Right.
hold
and
on.
not try to talk to them.
And they also talk to them too.
Yeah, I was going to say, John, it goes
And-
beyond that. They have a conversation with the
Mhm.
fox.
Yeah. And then there's something with every animal movie with me. It's like what animals are deemed worthy enough to wear clothes and to talk?
Because
You
the
know,
dogs
obvious- The dogs don't. The chickens or the squat, whatever they're called, they don't. It's like, okay, you're lesser than you.
Yeah.
You don't get to wear a coat
It's-
today.
It's the
The
Disney
chickens
rule,
are just
yeah.
food. Yeah.
But it's the Disney rule. You got Goofy who can talk and Pluto can't. And you're like, wait, why? Why is Pluto basically owned by Mickey, but then Goofy's his own being? What the hell? Like, what's happening
Exactly.
there? Even
Well-
what was the cow's name? The female cow's name in Mickey with Mickey. She was Goofy's friend.
Was it Daisy?
Daisy.
Betsy.
No,
No, that was
Daisy
a
was the
duck.
duck.
Oh.
It was something like that. I think it was
I don't know.
Dolores, maybe
the cow, the female cow.
the female cow. Yeah, but there's a
Clarabelle.
cartoon.
Clarabelle.
That's it.
Clarabelle, thank you.
Clarabelle.
There's a cartoon with Clarabelle where she's in a field with other cows who are all like, and then her
She's the
mutant
only
ass-
intelligent one.
Yeah, her mutant ass is standing by the fence post like yelling at Goofy, and I'm like, this is a fucking weird cartoon. Like, there's some weird things happening in this.
You know, I never
cartoon.
really looked at that very closely. Yeah, because all the chickens are like, you know, dumb because they have big eyes. You know?
Yeah.
But then the dogs are not intelligent. All they do is bark and have rabies, and you know they eat tainted blueberries.
But we have a badger voiced by Bill Murray that's a lawyer.
Don't buy this tree, Foxy. You're borrowing at 9.5 with no fixed rate, plus moving into the most dangerous neighborhood in the country for someone of your type of species.
You're exaggerating, Badger.
I'm sugarcoating it, man.
Yeah.
Oh, and there was a doctor and a real estate agent who was a weasel.
And a
And a
tailor that
chef.
was a mouse.
And a tailor and yeah.
Somebody pissed off somebody, by the way, to make weasels the fucking animal for the real estate
The
agents.
squirrels. I don't know if you noticed there were squirrels in this, and they were the movers.
They were the movie. Were they squirrels or chipmunks?
They were squirrels.
Okay, I thought they were
Okay.
chipmunks, but okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I'll allow it.
So something
Yeah.
I did read about this. I've never read this book.
Yeah,
haven't
I wrote it
either.
all, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
So apparently this movie follows the book storyline for like the first 2 acts, but then Wes Anderson adds his own 3rd act into it. And the humans, and to go back to our conversation, the humans and the animals, they never communicate together. Those worlds don't collide in the book,
Gotcha.
but they
That
do
makes
in this
sense.
movie.
Right.
Which I kind of like the idea of them not communicating
I do
a
too.
little bit.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I might have to go and read the book just to see like how different it is.
Like especially if you're above ground and you're communicating or you're listening to the humans, but then all they hear is like the mice and the squirrels just, you know, making
Yeah.
animal noises instead of actually having a conversation.
Well, you've
So-
heard the pothead Wes Anderson theory, right?
No.
No.
Do
so
tell.
so I don't do drugs, to be clear. I don't do drugs. However, supposedly, if you start smoking or doing your drug of choice at the beginning of every Wes Anderson film, by the time things truly get fucking odd in the movie, you will already be baked enough that the movie goes to a whole new height. That's the Wes. I'm being serious. Like if you think about Life Aquatic, there's like the 3rd act is where that weird glowing shark thing shows up. If you're baked, supposedly that movie's just amazing. Like you're just like, oh my god, like you can't possibly handle it. So I mean, if you think about you're high, and then in this movie, the fox and the farmer suddenly start having a conversation. You're probably like, that's not happening. What's going on? Like,
I
I've
think
heard
if you're
Avatar's the same way.
this is weird, man. Yeah,
Ever-
yeah, exactly. I don't know. It's a very
I think if you're sober, you're still having that like, wait, did they just talk?
yeah,
each other?
true. I don't know.
Especially I think when Mr. Fox was in the manhole and oh gosh, Franklin Bean, yeah, Michael Gambon, he was like talking to the fox, and I'm like, wait, what? They can talk to each other? Okay.
Yeah.
Did you bring the boy? Of course we did. Say something, kid.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Come on, that doesn't sound anything like it. It's amateur night in Dixie.
Apparently.
I guess we're going down this rabbit hole.
foxhole.
Foxhole,
Waka
My
Yeah,
only other complaint, by the way, that I can really think of. I mean, I'll come up with some more. Don't worry, I'm a critical asshole. Jason Schwartzman. Nothing with Jason Schwartzman can be considered good. Even Parks and Recreation, a show I really, really enjoy. The episodes with Jason Schwartzman are complete shit to me. I can't stand that guy. Everything
So
about
you
him
didn't
drives me
like the
insane.
Ash character?
No, I didn't like the Ash character, and I don't like Jason Schwartzman. Nothing about him is good. And
Was
his
it
band
because-
sucks?
Well, did you not like the Ash character because it was Jason Schwartzman?
No, honestly, the only thing I don't like about the Ash character is the same thing that always kind of trips me out about Wes Anderson's movies. He's always got to have these kids that are like half alien. Like he has to have these kids that are just way outside the realm of what could even possibly be considered normal, even in a movie with talking badgers and beavers and everything else.
You're still an oddball one.
It's still a fucking weird oddball. Yeah. And this
Yeah.
one, he's got two. He's got the martial art. Where the fuck, by the way, did Splinter the Fox learn martial arts?
Why'd you take your shoes off?
So I don't break your nose when I kick it.
Let me ask you guys that real fast. Like, where did he learn that?
Splinter was a rat.
Yeah, but he might as well be a fox because this movie, the guy suddenly whips martial arts out of his ass.
Yeah.
And he makes that whole comment, I'm going to take my shoes off so I don't break your nose with my foot. What? It's such a weird departure from the rest of the storyline. I don't know. It's just strange.
I don't know. I mean, a lot of kids take karate when they're young. So
I think that's the
Yeah.
idea, right? Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know.
And
That,
I
that
think
and he's into the meditation and
Buddhist thing, yeah.
Buddhist thing, and all that. So yeah, I mean, I guess it's feasible in a
And
world
Dash-
with talking animals and all that good stuff.
Yeah, and
True.
the Dash character I think is obviously Anderson, right? Like
I don't.
Well, I'm just saying his weird characters that he puts in all of his movies. I kind of feel like that's like an extension of himself.
He
You
did
think
play
that's
the
what it
weasel.
is?
Yeah. Well, he played Petey, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't know.
the
It just
banjo player?
says as
Yeah, the
weasel.
banjo player.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I know he was also Petey, the banjo player, the Michael Gambon's assistant.
Was he?
Bean's assistant.
I
I'm
thought that was
pretty
somebody
sure.
else.
No, I
thought
mean,
that-
unless I'm getting my things
Who
wrong.
knows?
Oh,
Can somebody tell me why when Fox and
Yep.
Possum?
Yes.
Fox and Possum. Fox
Mhm.
and Possum. They go across the electric fence. They're like, oh, this is an electric fence, and then they find a hole in the fence. Apparently, just with a house around it,
Mhm.
little dog house around it to let them in, and then they walk through there, but they don't come back out the same way.
you got confused. You got confused. To go over the electric fence, they had to climb the tree and then jump off the branch over the electric fence. Then they go into the house that apparently
That's
one of
right,
the doors is facing like a razor wired setup, and then the other door is just straight to the chicken pens or whatever the hell they were at.
Because instead of just going underneath the fence like they
Well,
do
'cause
for
they
3/4
dig.
of the movie.
One of us has got to jump that barbed wire, slide under the tire spikes, and flip open the fence latch. Who's it going to be?
Not me.
You know who could do this part easily is Christofferson. That kid's like a professional Olympic
Why
level.
don't we run that way? There's no obstacles.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, they dig. I don't know why they didn't just dig into there too. Yeah, I agree with you on
They
that.
had to come together as a
Oh.
group to actually find that out.
Well, why
So-
didn't they just whenever they hit the sewer? Why didn't they just crawl back up the pipe and go somewhere else?
I don't know. Why don't we find out why they didn't just go into hyperspace in all of the Star Wars movies and blow up all of the ships rather than go through 5 movies or 6 movies of fighting the Death Stars and everything else when they could have just gone into hyperspace and just blast right through them, because then it's not the movie that we have. That's the whole reason.
Merchandising, Eddie. Merchandising.
I hate Star Trek. I hate Star Wars for that. I'm sorry.
Oh.
It drives me insane. The fact that they did that in which movie was that? The second to last one, number 8, I guess it would have been.
Where they actually destroyed it?
Yeah, where they go into hyperspace or hyperspeed or whatever, and they blast through that big boomerang ship.
I don't know.
I don't remember, honestly.
But it's the same idea. Why couldn't they dig under the fence instead of just trying to jump into an electric fence? I mean, comic relief. It's the only reason I can come up with. They thought it'd be funny.
Which brings
you guys
me
are right.
to
He did do the weasel voice. I don't know why I was thinking PD.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Which got me thinking, okay, is this an adult movie or is it a children's movie?
It's an adult movie.
You
My
think
kid
so?
watched
I
it
think
and was
it's
bored
both.
as shit.
Honestly, I think it's both. I think it speaks to both kids and adults.
I think so too.
And yeah,
I mean, it's. I would say it's kind of like one of those movies where, like the new Toy Stories, they're actually made for, like, the adults that were little back in '98.
yeah.
Or it's like now they take their kids to see Toy Story 4, and they're like, "Oh, cool, this is a movie for us," but yet our kids like it too.
Well, I almost wonder, Eddie, if he would have enjoyed it more had it been a traditional animated movie.
I don't know. It was my daughter.
Sorry.
Yeah, but she just had no interest. Like, I sat down with her and she started watching and she's like, "Why are they moving weird?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's stop motion." And she's like, "Okay." And then about 15 minutes into the whole like George Clooney acting, even though he's through a fox, you can still tell it's him. She was just like, I'm gonna go watch something else. I'm like, okay, yeah, I understand that. I kind of feel the same. Like, I don't hate it. I didn't hate it, but at the same time, I don't think it's for kids at all. I think it's for like 22 to 20. I think it's for like film students. You know what I mean? The same way with most Wes Anderson films. They're just not really for regular people. They're for people who really like things to be
stuff.
Yeah, to be like odd and to be like, "Oh, did you notice that?" Yes, I did. Oh, well, so did I. Like,
now
that's
we're the same caliber. Ooh.
Yeah, that's who these movies are made for. They're not made to be popcorn movies at all. They're the opposite of popcorn movies.
Well, this actually got his big start in films. Like the first 2 films that were made, they didn't really do too great, but then this one kind of like made an uptick in what his style actually was going to be. Because like after this one, it was all about using like miniatures and everything else in his movies for here on out, because they tried it. And what was that? Was it Life Aquatica? Was that
Life Aquatic?
Life Aquatic, yeah. They did do a little bit of stop motion there, but then this movie was like a full on, hey, we're gonna do nonstop stop motion.
So are you thinking like Isle of Dogs and Fantastic Mr. Fox? I'm trying to see,
because Isle
like,
of Dogs just came out recently.
Yeah, but I'm trying to see like what else he's done that's got stop motion in it.
Well, you got the hotel one has some stop
Grand
motion
Budapest
in it.
Hotel.
Yeah,
it does have it does have a scene in there.
It's a merge. It's a merge of stop motion.
Yeah, he's not talking about like full movies. He's talking about movie segments of a movie that has a stop motion.
See, I don't know. For me, like I go all the way back to Rushmore. Like, I think Rushmore set the tone for everything that was going to be, Wes Anderson, snarky, ironic,
monotone speech.
Monotone, yeah, exactly, monotone.
Yeah, weird.
Like with that,
Jason,
like with
Schwartzman.
that, with the mother and the kid. I'm sick. You're not sick. I have a temperature. You don't have a temperature. I don't want to go. You're gonna have to go. Like,
yeah,
pretty much.
Kind of
it's just it's a boring volley. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that even happens in this movie a little bit. Like when Ash was gonna go rescue Christopherson.
Hey.
I can fit through there.
Hmm?
You wanna know why?
Why?
Because I'm little. Give me that shoelace.
It's like it was this weird.
Oh yeah, it's like
Forced-
I could fit through that. It's like,
Forced is
yeah,
the
'cause I'm
exact
little.
term. Forced is the exact term I would use. There is nothing natural about Wes Anderson film speech.
Mhm.
Everything feels scripted. It feels like
Yeah.
The Big Lebowski to the 10th degree.
Yeah, because you could almost say that. I mean,
Don't bring Big Lebowski into this.
Oh, I am. I brought it all
Oh,
the way
nay,
in.
nay.
All
gonna-
the way in. Go
and I'm
ahead.
gonna divert. So I would say if you don't like Wes Anderson's speech, you're not gonna like any of his movies.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
actually
Right?
not a big
You know,
fan
if you
of him.
don't like any of the dialogue, it's like that's a staple for his dialogue.
I think it's dependent on who is delivering the dialogue.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because I hated Life Aquatic. I can't. There isn't a there isn't a cussing word out there.
You cussing at
Right.
me?
You could
cussing at
cuss.
me?
You
Are
cussing at me?
with me?
Yeah.
Are you cussing with me?
No, you cussing with me?
Don't cuss and point
You're
at
gonna
me.
cuss with somebody. You're not gonna cuss with me, you little cuss.
With me. Just by the tree.
Okay.
Ugh. Yep.
I
That's
thought
funny.
that was funny.
That
I
was
thought
funny.
that was quite funny. But like Grand Budapest Hotel, Ralph Fiennes, I thought did a phenomenal job with that
Mhm.
with that type of dialogue and that pacing.
Yeah.
Same
Yeah.
thing with the other kid who he co-starred with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the Grand Budapest is probably his most accessible movie.
Mhm.
It-
I actually enjoyed
I would
that
have-
one a lot.
Me too. That's
Yeah.
probably my favorite Wes Anderson movie.
So I thought Royal Tenenbaums was fun, but
Yeah.
not funny.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like I thought it
Mhm.
was kind of like, oh, this is kind of an interesting. Okay, I see what you're doing here. You're kind of like taking the 70s and being like, hey, we're gonna be like really 70s, but modern. Okay, this is kind of cool. And then he kept doing it, and I was like, oh, okay. No.
Yeah. But now I'm like Moonrise Kingdom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't hate
never
Moonrise.
saw.
Yeah,
I
it's,
saw-
it's just kind of like, okay.
Yeah, I saw parts of it and I lost interest. It just wasn't. I don't know, man. Forced is a great way to say it. Like all of the actors seem like they're being held hostage. You know what? I'm gonna take it a step further. It seems like they're being held hostage while being told that they have to act out in some kind of like high school skit, like some high school play. That they're like, okay, Justin.
And they have to make it awkward.
Yeah, they're like, Justin, your motivation is that you're a Boy Scout leader, but you're awkward. Kyle, you're three different Boy Scouts in his troop, and you're awkward. And John, you're the only one that's aware that you're in a movie. Okay, go.
Oh, but you're awkward.
Oh, by the way, you're awkward. Yeah,
And
act
Eddie,
natural.
you're the letter M,
there we
but you're awkward.
This movie brought to you by the letter M.
And now you're the color blue. Go.
Yeah,
But
I
you're
mean,
awkward.
And you're
everybody
awkward,
is
yes.
kind of awkward.
You're
yeah.
blue and awkward.
See, where John didn't like Life Aquatic, I liked Life Aquatic, but not really as a movie. I liked it because it was different, right? Like they told stories with the cartoons interwoven and stuff. I was like, okay, it's kind of cool. It's different. But if you're just watching it objectively and just being like, I want to be entertained and this should be a good movie.
I wondered if you would like the French Dispatch,
I
Which I
don't
have
know.
not seen yet.
I haven't seen
it
that
either.
one. Yeah,
because it's a movie full of different stories.
I mean, maybe, or I
So-
might hate it even more. Who knows?
Yeah, I didn't.
It's hard to
necessarily
say.
like it. It's very hard to follow, but anyway.
Well, Eddie,
Yeah.
you mentioned earlier that you like the technicality of this movie.
Yeah, I mean, there's things I liked about it. Like I can't even put my finger on exactly what it was. There was a couple of different scenes that I was like, oh, that was kind of cool. But overall, I mean, I don't know. It's like I'm trying to think of an example, but there's movies that I've seen that technically I should like. Like they're shot well, they're fun, they're whatever,
We
they're
know.
put together well. Huh?
We know. We
But
know.
then you just don't like them. You know what I mean? Like I will probably give this a better score than what you're thinking because I do think that it was a good-ish movie. But then Owen Wilson and Jason Schwartzman, like just
Yeah.
ugh.
I think the most creative shot that they have in this film is when they're in the sewer and Mr. Fox is standing there in front of like this waterfall.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty damn cool for being stop motion. And I always like the smoke is like cotton balls. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna mention some of these technical elements that they did, like all of the fur on all of the puppets were as actual fur.
Mhm.
And and like you said, like the smoke, they used like cotton balls. They shot everything on a Nikon DSLR, which I thought was interesting.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And they shot it at 12 frames a second instead of the normal 24 that most people shoot at.
So it makes it look extra choppy, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That reminds me of the old what are those Christmas stop motion movies called?
And that's exactly why they did that.
Well, it's like Rudolph.
Rudolph,
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there was a company that did them, and they did a bunch of them. I'm trying to remember the name of it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. There was the guy who did all those. Oh shoot, what was his name? Oh, Rankin Bass.
Rankin Bass. Yep, there you go.
That's his name.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was kind of the godfather of those kind of things.
Yeah, Santa Claus is coming to town. Year Without a Santa Claus. Jack Frost.
Jack Frost. Yeah.
What was the name of that one though? That's got it's got the father wilderness character in it. I'm trying to remember what the name of it is. It's a crazy movie. It's like the life of Santa Claus.
The Life of Santa Claus.
Yeah,
and that's a stop motion too.
That's stop motion. Yeah, I'll find you guys a thing on it. But yeah, it's got all these like woodland like elf type things in it, and it's kind of, I don't know, it's one of my favorites, to be honest with you. It's very, very weird, that movie.
Yeah, I did like the amount of scale that they put into this movie, like the differences between like the size of the fox, because when you're up close into their world, they look like they're normal size. But then when they put them into like human size structures, they're very tiny, so I like that difference of scale. I like that they did actually zoom out a lot for those kind of shots, just to show that difference in scale for them.
Yeah, they had 17, if I remember right, they had 17 different physical sizes for Mr. Fox.
Okay.
And they had I think a total of 117 different puppets for him.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Like in total, like because of different close-up details and costume, wardrobe, and stuff like that.
And probably how you had to animate them, because that probably mattered based off of like if they're waist high and up, you don't really need to focus on the bottom.
Yeah, then you only have like a puppet that's just a bust shot with a lot of detail for the.
If he's riding a motorcycle, then you got to have the whole thing,
Right.
So
okay, speaking of, the weirdest part of the movie was the wolf part to me.
Yeah.
Well, it goes
I
back
didn't get it.
What a beautiful.
It's
I get it. It's a throwback to his conversation earlier, but
it's kind of like the whole movie, at least from Fox's perspective, is a midlife crisis. Right? He changed his ways early on, and then he's basically stuck in a rut. So he's like, oh, what can I do? I want to be someone that I want to go back. I want to be someone basically that he's not. Right? He is a husband. He's a family man. He's not that wild thief anymore. And the symbolism with the fox is like, because you notice the fox is on all fours, and it doesn't have any clothes on.
The wolf.
Yeah.
The wolf. Sorry, the wolf.
Yeah.
So that's symbolizing the wildness of the wild animals. But he's in that scene. He's like, wow, that he's wild. I'm not wild. I'm domesticated. I'm a dad. I'm a husband. I'm an uncle. I need to be responsible. I can't be a thief. So that's the way I took it.
What was weird was the fist raising scene. Like,
well, I think I think that is the commonality between the two. Is, hey, we're common ancestors, type thing of we're the same, so keep strong, type thing.
I mean, I have expected the wolf to be like Owen Wilson going, "You go, man! Wow,
Wow,
Wow. Drive
wow,
that bike. Wow.
wow.
I like
No
how you're.
way.
I like how your Owen Wilson is always Little Nicky. It's not Owen Wilson. It's always Adam Sandler as
And-
Little Nicky.
It is, isn't it?
Are we just gonna gloss over the fact that there was a tiny fox-sized motorcycle
Yeah,
behind the human motorcycle?
Completely normal.
it worked in great. What are they called? The Adventurers or whatever. It worked in that. Why can't it work in this?
Yeah, that's completely normal. They staged it. That was part of the thing. One of the little animals made it. They had a mechanic, I guess, down in the sewer.
I mean,
then
I
they
laughed.
plopped it
I
up there.
chuckled, but I'm like, wait a second. How was that sitting there?
I don't know. But
And I didn't really understand the whole dancing stuff either. That was just out of place to me.
the dancing stuff. Which one?
Yeah, well, there's like 2 dance segments that they have,
Oh, yeah.
or 3, but
I mean, Justin, it's different.
yeah. Which
What was that? By the way, what the hell does that explain?
That's what they do in the movie.
That's what they do to the movie, and their
You can't
their
worry
kid.
about Ash. He's different.
Different.
I'm grumpy. I spit. I wake up on the wrong side of the bed. I'm just different, apparently.
Oh yeah, with
It's
the
like they
kid.
did this weird hand motion. I'm like, what is that? Like,
what's the
different.
stupid fox's? What's his calling card?
yeah, no, that's it. You know.
There you go. Yeah.
Well, I guess he's just different.
What are we watching?
That's my thing.
Yeah, it's my trade. It's my
Jesus.
my trademark or
I
something
don't
like that.
know. I don't
Well,
know.
you know, and at the end of when they're in the supermarket, everybody's drinking the bean apple juice.
Yeah.
You know, except for Ash.
No,
Well, no,
cider. It's not apple juice. It's cider.
Well, I think
Well,
at
the-
the end
They
they're
made
actually
that
drinking apple
perfectly clear.
juice.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
The
that's right,
juice
yeah,
bag,
my
the juice
bad, my bad.
boxes. No,
Yeah.
it wasn't Ash. It was
No, Ash was drinking grape juice.
I thought Ash was the athletic one.
No, that's Christopherson.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
Christopher.
that's Christopherson. Yeah. Okay, so
So they
Ash,
even made
yeah,
a point
Ash
at the
made a
end
grape
that he's
one, or
different
had-
from everybody else.
Yeah.
because he's so
He's an
I'm a-
athlete.
yeah. Anyway,
Yep.
He's different.
No, Dad. Why do you like my brothers more than me?
Wow.
Again, Jason Schwartzman. I'm sorry, I just can't. God, the guy ruins everything he touches.
I don't understand how you have so much hate for him.
He's just awful. He's just awful. Like he's the Adam Sandberg of what, like when I was 20
Adam
years old.
Sandberg.
Yeah, I don't understand Adam Sandberg either. Everyone's like, that's Adam Sandberg, Hot Rod, and I'm like, okay, it's this guy, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I'm like, okay, Brooklyn Nine-Nine's kind of funny. He's the worst part about it, but yeah, it's kind of funny. Like I don't know. People get a hard on for these people, and I don't understand why. I'm very confused.
Andy Sandberg. Yeah.
Andy, that's what I say. Adam.
Like Adam Sandberg. I was like, who's
That's
Adam
how
Sandberg?
little he matters to me. Andy Sandberg.
Like
Sorry.
it's Andy Sandberg.
You
Yeah.
knew what I said. Hot
Well,
Rod. You guys should have.
I mean,
I was like, well, that's when I was like, I don't think that's
Yeah.
Andy.
Andy Samberg is just a little, weird.
He's different.
different.
That's how we're gonna start describing people now.
That's- yeah,
Just
it-
that from here on.
Just
As long as you do that, I have to just accept it. That's what I
Yeah.
have to do. now.
That's it.
it's a moment
But-
of acceptance.
If I say how, you just go, and that's it. I just have to take that. Huh? Great.
Yes.
That's gonna be a thing now. Yeah.
Future looks amazing. Can't wait.
Well, do you have some budgetary stuff about this? Colin?
Yeah, it actually didn't do too well. But
No.
And remember, guys, this was an uptick.
A Wes Anderson movie that didn't do well. What?
yeah, it actually did make its money back. The estimated budget was 40 million and it made 46.4 million.
Yeah.
So it
So just a little
barely paid the bills, but it did, plus a little extra towards the studio.
So Kyle, since this is your movie, you get to go first, sir.
Alrighty. Yeah, I think the visuals are stunning. The animation's top notch. I think how they add so much detail in the sets is pretty phenomenal. Obviously the dialogue is typical Wes Anderson. You know, it's like, it's just bland, monotone speak. But I try to look past it. But I think I'm gonna actually give this a 7.5.
Okay, 7.5 for Kyle. So John,
I am with Eddie. That I think it's visually stunning, and that that really ticks it up in my book. I have little problems with it here and there, but nothing major. It's stuff like, okay, why did this happen versus, why didn't they climb back up the pipe? Why did they do this?
Yeah.
What? I mean, this is just I don't get it. I mean, you had a whole damn supermarket there the entire time. You have to go rob chickens. You got to piss off the farmers. Just go and piss off the supermarket people. They're gonna think it's rats.
The supermarket people were the farmers.
yeah, it was their conglomerate supermarket.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they're gonna think it's rats. They're not gonna think it's foxes.
Good point. It's a good point.
At least I would think. I mean, Dumbledore might have saw through it. But I did enjoy it. I probably won't watch it again. A lot of typical tropes of the middle-aged man, like I was saying before. I did laugh at the cuss part. There was no cussing in it. I thought that was quite funny. Every time they did it, I chuckled.
What the cuss?
Yeah, what the cuss is that? I think I'm gonna give this one a solid 6.
Yeah, it was okay. I was entertained through it. I liked the look of it. I thought it was pretty cool looking. I just couldn't get past some of the weird scenes. Like, we didn't even talk about Willem Dafoe's
the rat
character,
The rat.
which
I'm Willem Dafoe and I'm speaking in a southern accent.
He
Like-
that guy in particular, the rat. Was he Southern or was he French? I thought he was
French. Yeah.
Yeah, but he spoke with a southern accent.
I don't know.
Yeah.
but
Tried to
That
anyways.
didn't sound like French to me.
No.
Okay, I heard French, but it was.
I thought it was supposed to be French. Yeah. So
It was
obviously
the-
they didn't pull it off.
No, but it was the
Parlez-vous français?
worst character in the whole fucking movie.
Yeah,
Like, I'm
exactly.
like, what a word. And what's funny is if you take him out, it doesn't change the movie.
Exactly.
It
No, it
changes nothing of the movie. So
No.
why have the character? Oh wait, because you just want to have another name in your movie roster.
Mhm.
Sorry,
Yep.
go ahead.
Right.
No. That's exactly what I was going to say about him. Like,
Yeah.
we didn't even talk about his character because he's
It's kind
not
of a,
needed.
traded out with a dog and it have a security badge on a dog and
Yeah.
there you go. You're
There
done.
you go. It could have been one of the Beagles.
Dog can't talk. Sorry.
Well, it's a special dog.
Nope. All
It's a hound dog or something. I don't know.
Oh, I'm a hound dog.
I mean, remember George Clooney even played a dog in South Park. All he did was say "woof."
Wolf.
This is true.
They could have had Willem Dafoe just say "woof"
Or a squeak.
in his weird Willem Dafoe way. But
What's
no,
the woof of that? Go ahead. Sorry. The symbolism there. The
cream and
symbolism.
cheese?
Sweet.
Sweet and
Sweet
low.
and
Looks like I'm gonna get a bagel with my coffee.
If anybody has any Glorious Bastards or not Glorious pieces,
What? That is the
Boondock
Boondock
Saints.
Saints.
Boondock
sir.
Saints.
Yes, I was
Jesus.
about to say that is the Boondock Saints. Don't even.
Don't watch the Don't watch the second one.
Second one's
just
rough.
The first one.
Yeah,
The first one.
second one's
Yeah.
rough.
So, man, I'm gonna give it a 6 as well.
Okay, so I like the look. I don't mind the music. Here's what sucks. There's probably a solid, for me, I'm going to say 15 minutes that can be cut from the movie, and I don't think the movie gets hurt for it. Like, for instance, the rat scenes, you cut the whole rat scenes out. That's about 5 minutes, right? You
Mhm.
cut some of the dancing and shit like
Longer
that out.
than that whole fight scene with the group and the rat
Oh, yeah, I
and the
didn't think
death
about it.
scene
In the sewer?
and
Mhm.
Yeah, well, okay, so let's say that's 8 minutes. Is that fair?
maybe.
Okay. The dance scenes, right? You take some of those out. That's another 4 to 5 minutes right there. So a solid 12 to 15 minutes could be cut from the movie and it doesn't change the movie. That's my biggest issue with it, honestly, is that there's pieces of it that somehow feel superfluous. What's weird is that when I think of Wes Anderson, I think of quirky and fucking weird, but I don't think of necessarily superfluous. Like for the most part, the stories, the pieces that he adds, etc., he puts together these very intricate stories, but all the parts sort of play on to each other. I'm not sure what the Rat or how the Rat played into the whole thing. And I'm really not sure how some of the other, I don't want to say storylines, but other places that they go. Well, why? What was the point you were trying to make? Right. The one more cool visual effect, by the way, was at the end when she tells him that she's pregnant. He goes, "Oh my gosh, I'm glowing too." And then the possum looks back at them and they're no longer stop motion. They were like animated or something.
Plastic or something.
They were plastic.
Like that.
Yeah. That was a cool
like
little
light bulbs
shot.
inside.
Yeah, that was a cool little shot. I like that. But for me, I probably won't watch it again. And as a kid's movie, I mean, like I said, my daughter walked out of the room, so that's not a good sign. But I would probably give it I'd give it a solid 5. I'm gonna go middle of the road.
Okay.
Like I said, it was gonna be higher than what you guys probably thought.
So that means that Fantastic Mr. Fox gets a screenwriter score of 6.1.
Okay.
So that means we need to spin the wheel for the genre for next week's movie. Just going to make a quick announcement about that. We had to change the wheel a little bit. We've merged 2 categories. We merged film noir and crime. So now if that lands on that segment, you can pick either one of the 2. And we added the history category because there is a crap load of history genres that are up on IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes. So that gives us even more movies to be able to pick from. So I think I'm really looking forward to some of those that we're going to pick.
All right, here we go.
Woo! Look at that wheel go.
I don't know. There was a delay. I noticed.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's fine. Oh no.
What the fuck is it? What are the chances?
This is weird, guys. This is weird. Okay.
Well, it can't be Kyle at least. So
yes, that is true, and it's going to be Eddie. Well, here we go. Watch out, watch out, folks.
Now that it's like this, I got movies.
So I mean, it's interesting that this is our second spin of the season, and it's already landed on one of the new categories.
Yeah.
All right, so now we need to spin to see who's going to have to pick one of those 2.
Yep,
So
it is between Justin, John, and Eddie. So, bang. Who they're gonna be? Who's it gonna be?
Oh crap!
It's Justin.
I hate picking.
I had movies too, but it's fine. It's fine.
So I'm gonna go with The Batman from 2022. It's a crime drama action movie. And basically, Batman ventures into Gotham City's underworld when a sadistic killer leaves behind a trail of cryptic clues. As the evidence begins to lead closer to home and the scale of the perpetrator's plans become clear, he must forge new relationships, unmask the culprit, and bring justice to the abuse of power and corruption that has long plagued the metropolis.
Bring back justice.
A long explanation of the Batman.
Yeah.
Justice.
Can I ask a
What,
stupid question?
He's in Metropolis? What? He's not in Gotham?
No, it's a metropolis. Gotham is a metropolis.
Oh, a metropolis.
Not the metropolis.
Yeah, not the Superman metropolis because they couldn't think of a better name.
It's a big city called Metropolis.
So, so we're going to be reviewing the Batman. You can go to justwatch.com. You can see all the places it's streaming. I think it's like free on HBO if you're a subscriber, or you have to pay or rent it to anywhere else.
Cool.
So go check it out there. And we'll be back next Saturday to review that. So thanks for listening and watching, guys.
See ya.
See ya.
Later.